Peace, family. So today I'm just going to real briefly touch on a little bit about symbolism in the ancient world, specifically just dealing with the pharaohs, dealing with that symbolism with the pharaohs, how that relates to us, and in more specific, how it relates to the modern day preacher or so-called conscious comedic teacher, and information that they leave out. And some of it might be due to ignorance, some of it, I don't know, they just don't want to talk about that specific thing. And as what I always talk about, touching on how it's because they just following what the previous generation left and not really standing on the shoulders like they supposed to. So it's like when you just continuing on that same trail, you're not taking advantage of the work they put in and what we need to do to move forward. So, okay, now specifically, like I said, talking about the pharaohs, I'm gonna deal with the symbol of the crook and the flail. You know how when usually the pharaohs get buried in the tomb, they cross their arms over their shoulders. They had the crook in one hand and they had the flail in the other hand. Now the crook, you know, the stick with the little hook on the end, and then the flail was like the little thing, looked like a little tassel with the three stripes on the end. Alright, now so the crook, which I believe in the hieroglyphics stand for rule, and it'll make sense why in a minute. Now, you know, it might be some other explanations as to the definition of it in hieroglyphs. I don't make any subscriptions of being no hieroglyphic master or nothing of the sort. You know, I stay in my place. I don't try to be the jack of all trades and the master of nothing. You know, that's what you got a lot of people doing. You know, they get a little bit of information here, a little bit of information here, and they come out saying that they, you know, master teachers on every subject, when in reality they just got a little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this, and that's why they're masters of nothing, because they the jack of all trades. And that's why the information usually is always so easily debunked, because they don't spend enough time on one subject. But anyway, digress from that. So back to what I was saying. So, you know, when they, you know, they get buried, or sometimes you see in the tomb, you know, they got their hands across the shoulders. You got the crook in one, the flail in the other. Okay, so now the crook is symbolic for the shepherd's crook. That's where it comes from. And then really, before the Sahara got so desertized, it was a center where people used to gather. I think it was called Herpopolis, something like that. And you know, that's where a lot of the shepherds and other people that lived off the land would meet up at in that area. So long story short, if you know anything, if you ever watched any videos about shepherds or seen anything like that, you know that the hook is used to either hook the sheep in from the neck or by the leg, right? So this shepherd, and sometimes you can use it as a weapon as well. So that symbolized pretty much rulership, dominance over the flock, which I'm going to hone in on a little bit more specifically. Why would they use that symbol? Well, I already said that the origins of that civilization come from shepherds, and also you had artisans on different sides of Egypt, and eventually they all came together because of environmental factors, and they formed, you know, that civilization. Now, one thing about symbols. Symbols and signs are used pretty much for physical control, mental control, and then with that, coupled with some rituals, then you'll maintain spiritual control over a person or a group of people. So now we already know, like I said, the crook was used to keep the sheep in line, right? And when you call somebody a sheep, when you say they're sheep, you pretty much saying that they need a leader. They can't go in their own direction. You gotta rule over them, or they gonna be fucked up or whatever, so to speak. So that's the first thing. Now the flail, which I won't spend too much time on, it has different uses. Excuse me. In ancient Kemet, some people say it's certain plant that they was used to gather up certain nutrients from, but also it would be converted into a weapon as well. You know what I mean? It's similar to like a whip or something to that nature. Now, in the Nation of Islam is a teaching that teach about the 85, the 10, and the 5. Now, the 85 is the deaf, the dumb, and the blind. The 10% is the rich bloodsuckers of the poor, and the 5% is the poor righteous teachers. Now, I don't care where you go. I don't care in what organization, these numbers is going to hold true. What that means is that 85% of the people going to be dumb. Just point blank. They go. I ain't going to necessarily say all of them is dumb, but pretty much they're to be led by the other groups of people. So the mass is going to be kind of not getting it, kind of slow, kind of followers. 10% rich bloodsuckers, they're going to know, damn, these people dumb, or whatever, or we could take advantage of these motherfuckers, or we could tell them anything, they're going to follow it. That's what the 10% going to do. The 5%, which I just said, poor righteous teachers, they pretty much the ones trying to call the 85, trying to tell the 85, look, you being duped, man. These people was deceiving you. Stop listening to them. Blasey, blasey, blah. Okay? So, now, I'm not going to judge the Pharaohs and say they didn't have reason to do the different things that they did. Taxing the people, really, you talking about taxation without representation, that was in full effect. Making the people deify them as gods. You know what I'm saying? That was the strongest element of one of the ways that they was able to nationalize that area and make the people serve them, because they made the people believe that they was connected to the gods. You know what I'm saying? They was the God men. You know what I'm saying? So if I'm the God man, it wasn't no separation of church and state. No, I'm all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm the church and the state. You know what I'm saying? So get that bread up, get a tax up, help come on build these monuments to worship me. Yeah, I'm going to be in all gold, all that. It's all going down. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm the one that's connected to the God, right? See, so when you look at the Pharaohs and you look at the people trying to teach you about Kemet, why is it that they never really talk about what the regular people was doing in Kemet? They never talk about the life of the regular laborer or person. Why don't they do that? Because that part ain't spectacular. They want to show you the gold and and I understand why. We was at a point, like I said, with their previous generation, they was looking for some validation. They was looking to feel good. They wanted to present information that, yeah, we had done something. We did build things. We did great things. Look at the civilization. Look at what we did, and we all loved it. Yes, Kemet. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying, it's the shit. We loved all that. But now it's time to move on. And when I say move on, I don't mean don't look at it no more. Don't break it down no more. Don't understand what happened no more. No. But I mean now bring it into reality. Now it's time to bring it into reality. The Pharaoh was pimping the people, man. Monuments with their face on their statues and all that shit. Why wasn't everybody else faces on all the statues and all that shit? Because they wasn't the Pharaohs. You wasn't the boy. You got these people running around thinking like they like a pharaoh or a god man or whatever, When in reality, if you was a regular citizen during that time, you would have fell in line with the rest of the niggas. The ones who was dominant would have been dominant, and they would have set their system up, and it would have been what it would have been. Just like right now, when you got these preachers in the church, and they dominant over the people. Yeah, give me the diamonds. You know what I mean? Come on, bring. Why? I'm God man. I'm God man. Bring me that bread. Bring me that money. Creflo, I need that. Yeah, that's right. I need that. You know what I'm saying? Bring all that down the aisle. Throw that money right there. You see? Same thing. The one that's dominant is going to be the one that's going to control everything. So that's pretty much what was going on at that time. So I was reading an excerpt from Booker T's Washington narrative, Up From Slavery. So he talked about how, you know, when they just got freed and people got freed, some people was leaving, doing different things, people trying to establish stuff, all that, right? So Booker T was like, one of the things niggas used to do that was kind of lazy and was trying to find a way out of, I mean, shit, I don't blame them, you know what I mean? You just coming from out of slavery, you trying to find a easier life to some extent, some people. So what the dudes used to do, I wish I had the book so I could just read right from out the book, but I'm paraphrasing what he said. And he pretty much was like, the niggas used to fall out, you know, shaking, acting crazy. You know what I'm saying? Just start speaking in tongues. And then he say, oh yeah, God has made me a preacher. Like, all the people would be like, damn, yeah, I mean, he a preacher. You know what I'm saying? So that was pretty much your way into the door, starting to get them donations, right? Starting to become dominant over the people. And even when we study, you know, when you look into that Planned Parenthood thing and how, I forget what the lady name was. You know, the demon who started the whole thing with the Planned Parenthood. I forget the name right now. You know who I'm talking about, though. So anyway, that's why they would go to the preachers, huh? Y'all give them this message about this birth control thing and blah blah blah. You're gonna put that in through them because the people gonna look up to them. Same thing with the God man, the whole God man concept. You know what I'm saying? Them signs and symbols. It's like, you know, when you look at a lion tamer in the cage with the lion, right? And this motherfucker in the cage with the lion, but he got that whip and he got that stick, right? Now, the only reason why he can control that lion is because he got them symbols and shit. If you threw away them symbols and they just went with what it was, that lion to tear his ass up. Tear his ass up. I ain't listening to you. That shit out of here. You know what I'm saying? But when he got that stick and the whip and, you know, those symbols, like I said before, physically and mentally can trap somebody. And could have somebody that's more powerful than somebody else worshiping them. Believing in them. You got to think. If you a Pharaoh dude, it probably was dude that could knock him the fuck out or whatever. Or whatever. Straight up revolt on this dude. And it was civil wars in Egypt. That's another thing people never talk about. I'm talking about before invaders came in. When the people revolted against the Pharaohs because they was treating them too bad. And they just straight up, we ain't taking this no more. Nigga, we revolting. You know what I'm saying? So, like I was saying, you know, you take away them symbols and that lion gonna tear his ass up. He ain't got a chance. He ain't got a chance in there with that lion. So when you see the Pharaohs and you see them decked out with all these symbols and eagles and falcons and shit and all this stuff all over the place, man, that's just propaganda that they passing down on the people. Now, I ain't saying that there was no kind of maybe mystical laws of nature that they was able to tap into or some other kind of secrets that may have been forgotten or we don't know right now, that they didn't know that. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying, though, a lot of that symbolism was just used to keep the people subdued so they can continue their reign, man. You know, when you read some of the story, you know, Pharaohs, he have his harem of women. You know what I mean? How do you keep the 85 in check. That's what you gotta think about. What is different leaders, even small leaders, leadership on the local level, right? How do he keep the masses of those that follow him following him? That's what you gotta think about. You know what I mean? Whenever you inside any organization or you a part of any structure or whatever, what do this dude use to keep the 85 following? That's what you always got to think about when you're trying to measure or judge how good this leader is, right? How much more richer than the flock is he? You know what I'm saying? How do he deal with them? You know what I'm saying? Now, like I said, when you look at the origins of them developing Egypt or Kemet into a nation state, you know, you see many glyphs of them chopping people hands off, penises off, all types of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And this is just real rap. So anyway, I'm gonna wrap this up because, you know, I'm gonna make it plain. What do you get from the conscious community, right? So-called conscious community. What you supposed to get, you get the information, take it back to your family, take it back to your community, take it back to your church, your mosque, your synagogue, your temple, your motherfucking atheist meeting. You take it back to wherever you gonna take it back to, and you help develop the people to unify and move out. You don't join the conscious community. There's nothing to join. There's never gonna be nothing to join. This is just where information is getting disseminated and is more needed among us, and not only us, but more needed among us because we the ex-slave. We the ex-chattel slave. You know what I'm saying? So much about history has been distorted or not told to us, so we need that. We need this information, right? But don't get tied to it. You take the information and you put it to use on your structure, on your level, wherever you at, wherever you in leadership at, or wherever you a part of the flock at. You know what I'm saying? You pass it on in that way. You know what I'm saying? Because this thing, especially the people that's mostly in front of the camera now, come on, man. They trying to make themselves the new God, man. You know what I'm saying? They trying to give you some symbols. They trying to hook your ass around the neck like that shepherd Crook did the sheep. Which was why they would use that as a symbol anyway. Look, I got the crook. I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? Even to the point, you ever watched the movie Shaka Zulu, how when the kings died and all of their servants and shit like they had to die with them, broke neck, all that, y'all going in the grave with me and shit. Why? Because I'm the man. So y'all got to die with me. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to worship me. Y'all got to go with me. And then the earlier kingdoms, the first dynasty, they did shit like that. You know what I'm saying? There's evidence of that. So, like I said, I'm going to wrap this up. But look at it for what it is. It was the grandeur, the glory, the technology. It was all great. That was for them in that time. What will be your position in this time now? Are you a part of the 85? Are you a part of the 10? Are you a part of the 5? Peace.